Welcome back to another episode of Letting the Dust Settle. First of all, thank you for all of the support on the last video, the one about Jimmy Kimmel. Now, I told myself, and I told you guys, that I wasn't going to continue this journey of talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination, but lo and behold, where's my cloud nose? I'm here, and I'm going on, and now I'm talking about Erika Kirk. If you guys like this series, please like and subscribe, and let me know who else you would like me to kind of analyze. I have some ideas on some other videos I want to create, but for today, I just felt in my heart that I really want to talk about the situation because it's just becoming so unsettling. So, in my first video, I fully was on board of saying we need to support Erika Kirk fully, right, and her children. You know, in Islamic sense, her children are now considered orphans because they have no father. And I couldn't even imagine the devastation that these young girls and even Erika Kirk would feel with having such a devastating travesty happen to their father for the whole world to watch. And at first, that's how I really felt. And I was like, we need to support, if there's anything that we can do. I added the link into the video. But now it's totally flipped on its head. And it seems like I don't want to say that seems like there's political motive behind it, but political motive has ensued. It's crazy to see how now it's went from, a memorial service to now it's this push of Christian Zionism where there's these Charlie Kirk 2.0 AI robot drones that are going out into the ecosystem and pushing Christian Zionism, which totally is extremely counterintuitive to Christianity as a whole. So let's break this one down. It started with her being at the Utah Valley University when this all happened. She was there with her husband. And then the memorial service happens, and it almost looked like an all-star weekend fanfare when she comes out WWE style, fireworks, fire coming from the ground, and she gives a 30-minute speech about her relationship and Charlie's relationship with Jesus Christ, all the way to how she's going to be carrying the flag, carrying the mission. And now she's even reporting that Charlie Kirk has had this vision till 2030 of pushing this Christian Zionist propaganda out there into the ecosystem. Obviously, those are not the words that she's used, but now we're seeing, again, these drones that are saying, I am Charlie Kirk, I'm representing Charlie Kirk, very much like 300. And that are now going to be pushing this trad, traditional, paired with Christian Zionism propaganda. And I don't know about you guys, but this totally gave me President Coin from the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 vibes. All right, she comes out there as she's going to be representing this new rebellion against, I guess, extreme leftism is who their quote-unquote enemy is, and now she's coming out there as this new political figurehead to then be leading the charge. And it's just like, whoa, when did this happen? Like, and if I want to think back, like, imagine if Jackie Kennedy went out there from being in the limelight, sitting next to her husband, JFK, who then got hit in the head with a bullet, who's now pushing this new political campaign. I mean, that would be extremely wild to see. Now, obviously, people grieve in their own ways, and some people want to dive into work. That's totally fair. But the dust literally has not settled, and now Erika Kirk is out there, and she's now the CEO of Turning Point, and is now pushing this conservative paired with Christian Judaism angle. And it almost seems sinister to a point, right? Everything in the world works in very mysterious ways. And even the relationship between Charlie Kirk and Erika can go back into, some like, how does the world work exactly like this perfectly? After doing a little bit of research, it seems that Charlie Kirk's father was an engineer and architect, helping Trump build, his towers in New York. Whether he was a lead engineer, whether he was an architect on the project, right? Whether God has planned it perfectly or imperfectly, it seems like Charlie Kirk and Erika were always going to meet either organically or by force. Because Erika was someone who was part of these pageants where Trump was one of the main holders, one of the main admin of the Miss USA pageants. And of course, Erika, who's, LARPing as this traditional Catholic or traditional Christian woman, who's out there showing her body in pageants, right? I mean, everyone has a past, and so I don't blame anyone for it. But to think that, and again, people change. People have their own past, and so I don't blame her at all. If that's what she did when she was younger, people make mistakes, and people change their ways for sure. But to go and now LARP as this traditional conservative woman, now LARPing as this political figurehead pushing this, Judeo-Christian propaganda, it's concerning to me how quickly this happened, right? How were the steps already there? How were the plans already made? It's extremely alarming for how her speech was totally about their faith with Jesus, and now they're going to be completely aligning themselves with the Israeli propaganda. And so, and it goes on to my last video, right? Of Charlie Kirk was stepping away from his previous beliefs within his pro-Israel stance to now Turning Point is completely pushing the pro-Israel stance. And it's maybe not necessarily dancing on his grave, but everything just seems like a complete 180 from his original 180. So it's something that I have noticed. It's something that the internet has noticed, and it's something that just doesn't seem easy for us to digest. Right? It seems like the world is trying to unite young men into some level of a political fold, right? And it seemed like Gen Z was really attaching themselves to Charlie Kirk. And the moment he took a step in the wrong direction, moving away from his pro-Israel stance, it's like it totally circumvented itself to where now Erika is the figure point that is pushing the new Christian Zionist propaganda in America. So, what is the solution again? I think the solution, especially for those of faith, to actually read the scripture, right? Truly read the Bible, read the words that Jesus said. Look at the scripture. Jesus was someone who he was outwardly against the organized, that current model of organized Judaism, right? And he was not against the Romans. He was against what the current Judeo faith was doing at that time in society. And he was calling for this compassion. He was calling for this love of all people, this healing of all people, to worship God and God alone. And now it seems like America and certain sects of the conservative ideology are trying to segment people into groups rather than unite them under one God. And that's where I find it extremely alarming with how it seems like there's Erika Kirk, who's then going to be funding these Gen Z Christian Zionists, Charlie 2.0 robots. It seems like politics and religion and faith are merging at this time, right? It seems like it's merging at a rate that hasn't been this way for the past 10, 20 years, where it used to be a complete separation, but now it seems like it's molding into one ideology. And it seems like there's almost two sides being formed, right? And that you're going to have to pick one, right? One is going to be this Christian Zionism, and there's one that's going to be this Islam group, since they're both going to be growing at accelerating rates. And then there's going to be people in the middle being like, where do you align yourself? And there's going to be people who just don't even care at the same time. But for those that are concerned about where the world is going, I truly advise you to educate yourselves on why are people thinking in this way? Why is the world moving in this way? What are the beliefs of these people? Because they're the ones that are in power ultimately. We are truly at the precipice of where things are going to really start to accelerate in this world, in my personal belief. I'm going to be here reporting on all of it. So please like and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole Erika Kirk, political campaign almost. And, where do you see, America really moving in this new faith-based push, right? Do you see, in your own cities, are you seeing a lot of Christian Zionism? Are you seeing a lot of Islam? Are people even talking about this stuff? I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are. And so again, please like and subscribe, and let me know who you guys want me to talk about next, or what situations you want me to talk about next on Letting the Dust Settle.